What was that? Did you hear
It's
that?
getting spooky already.
Hi everybody and welcome to Cat Chat. I'm Kat and chatting with me today is the lovely James. Yay! James has founded his own modelling agency, which you can go and follow on Instagram and just type in the handle Able Model Management. Now, I went to a fashion show yesterday, but they were all just a bunch of posers, so I don't really know that much about fashion, but you can tell me more. James, how are you?
I am very good, thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for agreeing to be here. Right, so let's get straight into it. Tell us about your work.
My work revolves around the fashion industry and, like you say, it's a modeling agency, but where the niche comes in is it's a modeling agency for the disabled community. And I specialize in collaborating with sustainable clothing brands and giving opportunities to members of the disabled community who are hoping to or aiming to increase more visibility in the industry as a whole.
I love that so much. It's something we don't really think about, which is unfortunate, but also featuring people who aren't the stereotype models should also be common. I mean, the fashion industry has done so much progress in the last few years, as far as I can tell, with having all kinds of ethnicities, body shapes and sizes. All of the gaps have been trying to get filled. And this is one that I've not read a lot about, and you seem to be putting a lot of effort and trying to get a lot of attention to it. And I think it needs that attention.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with what you're saying. I think, the fashion industry has evolved and it is evolving slowly but surely, but there are still, members of the community who can see there's still so much further to go. And sometimes it's great to see, but it's about then doing it in the correct way where it's not just something that's done for publicity, it's something that's not just done once and then that's it. It's about continuing it then after that. And so that's where I come in and I try and get, these opportunities because it is mad to see, just the confidence in people growing after the slightest bit of visibility. And it's something that is so simple to do.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's about making sure that fashion is for everybody because at the end of the day, we were all wearing clothes.
So tell us, how did you start? How did you get into this?
So I went to university in London to study drama. And while I was there, I actually got into a bit of modeling myself and really liked it. But I have a scar myself. And when I was going to these gigs or going to these events and shoots, they'd all be going really well until my scar became a little bit more visible. Let's say I was modeling a shirt or something and buttons would be undone. The second the scar was, more visible, cameras would kind of shut down and turn the other way. And, it was just really noticeable. So I started modeling for things that were to do with scars. And again, I don't want to knock it. It was a great opportunity. Really loved being a part of that. But I was like, why does it have to be to do with scars for me to be a part of this industry?
Yeah.
And so I was waiting for someone else to do it, and no one else was doing it. And I knew a few members of the community myself, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to do this. I'll start it off as a bit of fun. We'll see who's interested. So I invited these people that I knew down and a photographer just to a studio space that I knew of, and they loved it. And then through that, they told friends of friends, and they told friends of friends, and I was just getting more messages coming through. So I just knew it had to be something a little bit bigger, and not just one shoot and we're done. So I started to develop the idea properly with my two colleagues that I work on it with, Joel and Ryan. And from there, we've just been working ever since. We got into touch with companies, and like I say, everyone wears clothes, and I think people do really want to start doing it and working with the disabled community, but no one really knows how. So again, that's just where I come in. I'm just the bridge.
So as the bridge, what are the main things that are addressed when you feature somebody from the disabled community? So what are the things that could be changed or that you're trying to change? So for example, I mean, I was reading the article that I will put in the description below where the work that Tommy Hilfiger is doing, for example, is talked about, and I mean, of course, a zipper replaced with Velcro sounds like very sort of like a simple solution for a certain piece of clothing, but that is genuinely something that I hadn't thought about. And of course, it's so simple and it could be done with other things and with other big brands.
Well, it's kind of along those lines around fastenings. That's what I've noticed the most difficulties with, like even shoelaces and stuff. Things that look nice but have a zip feature instead, or Velcro, but then that addition of the Velcro or the zip doesn't take away from the class of the shoe or whatever. So I think it's just looking into accessibility and what people need. And the disabled community are there to tell you what they want and where they want these changes to come from. So it's pretty simple. All you got to do is listen.
Yeah.
And there's a brand that I love working with who make clothing accessible but still trendy, so that even able-bodied people are able to wear it, and want to wear it. It's not just something that like, oh, this is for the disabled community only. It's something that everyone wants to wear, but it's accessible for everyone as well.
Yeah, no, that's as it should be, and I'm hoping that we're moving towards that. So working with models specifically from the disabled community, have you found it has been hard to get jobs where they aren't featured as a disabled model?
No, I feel like I've been very fortunate when it comes to this, and with the work that I've done, where the companies I've worked with have always been really transparent and really genuine, and it's something that they've also been passionate about. So yeah, I've never come across something where it's like, okay, this is what we want. We just want to hit this marker. Okay, that looks great. It's always been like, we want our brand to be inclusive, and we know that you work with inclusive models, so it'd be great to have them. So yeah, like I say, a lot of my work does have like a mix of able-bodied people and disabled people, or people from the disabled community on the same page, and I love to see that, because again, at the end of the day, it's just about like including everyone.
Yeah. So what projects have you worked on that you sort of could tell us more about?
So I mentioned that brand that I love working with earlier, and that's called Morda, and they're a Scottish brand who make the adaptable clothing. I work with a sustainable brand called say Rima. I've currently got some exciting projects with American companies coming up that I can't say too much about because I don't want to say anything that I'm not allowed to. But yeah, there's been like lots of opportunities, and like I say, I think it's definitely more from the sustainable route, because working with companies who care about the planet, they care about the people on it as well. So they're always keen to make a change. They're already trying to make a change in fashion, so they can do it from another angle as well. Yeah, there's just been a bunch. There's stuff like Gimme Kaya, who weave materials, and specialize in knitwear, but it's just funky little projects that have been great to get involved in, really.
That's amazing. So other than the modeling agency, what else do you do?
So I actually work with a Bristol-based fashion line in the handbag and accessories section. So basically what I do there is I do a bit of design. I am in charge of ambassadors, and kind of like my role within what I do at the agency. I'm there to get people out on social media, to get some visibility around. And yeah, we're just again aiming to create this brand a little more inclusive. And that's kind of what I do.
No, that's amazing. But we touched on this a bit earlier, but do you think the industry is actually making progress that's long term, or that's sort of short term fixes? Because I mean, even from Project Runway and Drag Race, I mean, those shows, for example, started to showcase all kinds of different people, but the fashion industry itself, while lots of them of course always claim to be inclusive, and for example I know that body image has been in the media for the past million decades, I'm always a bit reluctant to believe that the change is actually happening. So what do you think from within the industry?
No, I think like I said, I definitely think it's evolving and it's heading in the right direction. There's always room to work and there's always room to progress. And I think it's going to be like that for a long time in this general section. But, now I can go on social media, and every day I do, I see someone else who is a member of the disabled community out in the limelight, and it might be someone that I haven't met or spoken to before or isn't involved in anything that I'm doing. They're just doing something completely separate, but they're out and they're, you know, visible, which is great because they're just getting involved in an industry that, you know, stereotypically has left them out. So I think it is definitely heading in the right way, and it's nice to see because you're just starting to hear a lot more voices coming from, these communities.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that, and I really enjoyed reading more about you and more about the initiative, and I think it's very important. I think everybody should go to the description and follow all of the pages I'm going to put down there and read more about it. I'm also going to put a link for the article from the Telegraph, which tells you more about what you do and what other people are trying to do around the world. And James, how do you think people can get involved? What can everybody do who watches this and thinks, yes, this is brilliant, I want to be part of this?
So I think if you're a member of the disabled community and it sounds like this is something for you, you're more than welcome to get in touch, and I can let you know of the projects we have available. And if you're hearing this and you think you know someone who might be interested, again, send them our way. But the main thing is to just educate yourself on the situation, really, because like I say, fashion is for everyone, but often people from certain communities are just forgotten about. So if there's a way you feel like you can change it, just give it a go. That's what I'd say. Yeah.
Yes, and I second that.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is our Halloween special, my friends, which means that because we have a member of the fashion industry with us today, I'm going to monopolize. So James, are you up for playing a little game with us? A game I like to call Tricky Dress or Spooky Treat.
Yes, let's give it a go.
Amazing. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to make a Halloween costume from anything you find in the house, anything you find in your room right now. I'm going to set a timer. Are you ready?
I'm steady.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, let's see what we got. Oof.
While James makes his costume, why don't you all click on the link below for a vampire joke? Haha, sucker!
This is so hard.
I feel kind of left out, like, I've been the only one doing it, you know what I mean? I definitely think we should be giving it a go. You know, absolutely. As considering we're very lucky in our house, we're trying to miss it out, so...
And time is up. Okay, right, James, I have to say, I really, really hope that fashion you represent and take part in is better than this, but tell us, what have you got?
Touché. So it's literally just a bunch of tissue paper. I was feeling kind of mummy-ish, you know. I thought this would be terrifying, but it's just...
Concerning. It's a bit concerning.
Concerning.
It's good effort, and I very much enjoyed watching you struggle, and hopefully all of that's going straight into the recycling.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's been absolutely lovely talking to you, and I do hope that your agency grows and that everybody who's watching right now will go and support it in any way they can. So everybody else, I hope you're having an amazing Halloween. I will probably be somewhere in some kind of weird costume when I actually publish this, but for now you get this and you get a lovely mummy. Well, you get a kind of mummy. So
a kind of mummy.
So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, James, for joining, and go and follow and like and subscribe and do all of that stuff. Bye.